I don't remember a time where I had soreness through my adductors like this. Now, obviously, the recent is always more painful than anything else you have experienced in the past. There's that idea, that recency bias, or recency bias rather. But man, I am sore like crazy. It's been like 4 or 5 days since that low bar squat session, and I can't even walk properly, man. Like, the last few days of work have been terrible. I'm making old man noises every time I get up or move or do anything. It is literally that sore. The interesting thing is, though, when I do the adductor machine, that hits a different type of adductor, which is really interesting. The squats hit this posterior fibers of the adductors. And when I do the adductor machine, I feel it more kind of like hip flexor anterior fibers. Not to say that I don't feel it at all. I feel it a little bit, but it's nowhere near as bad as like bending over trying to pick something up, or getting up off a couch or the toilet or the chair or whatever you want. Terrible soreness, like impossible soreness. So I'm going to give myself a few more days of just recovering from this. And I don't really know, like at this point, I'm kind of scared to go back to the 4 plate. And, part of this is also I want to get longer in this muscle so I can keep more depth in the squat. Right now, I'm like so far away from anything that it's just like it's going to take a couple more days at minimum. I mean, when the soreness leaves you, that's fine. But then you have to also be comfortable loaded end range adductor length. And that is something that I've struggled for many, many years in terms of like adductor strength and mobility. And the low bar squat really attacks that really hard. So the plan was to do like a 5-day, 6-day split, something like that. But I think for the first few weeks, I'm going to have to make it a 7 or 8 day split. And just, day 6, 7, 8 or 5, 6, 7, 8, going to have to be just really light squatting, really light adductors, and just not much else. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So the last few days, I'm just chilling out, basically. This 3-plate squat felt terrible. Felt like my adductors are going to tear, even though I'm doing an arrow stand squat. But that goes to show you, adductors obviously are more used when you do a low bar squat, but they also use when you're doing high bar squat, because I feel them. I feel it. Like, that hip extension right at the bottom of the squat is most likely going to be controlled by the adductors. They're just in better position compared to the glutes. So the adductors are this key muscle that I'm starting to really appreciate. And I'm kind of now circling it as a real cause to my hip pain all those years. All these years ago, like I was so concentrating on narrow stand squats. That was my idea. That's how I wanted to squat, but I left a lot of development there because I was so crazy about narrow. There's so much to be gained wide, and this is just a squat example, but I believe that as well for all the other lifts that you got going, like bench press. I think it's amazing. The deadlift is very in close relation to the squat, but either you do sumo or you do low bar squat wide. Do something to develop that portion of the body. We don't have to talk about muscles. We can just talk about getting comfortable in different planes of motion, different muscle lengths and different angles. You don't have to get into the weeds of what's causing what or which muscles. Just get comfortable in everything and you'll progress the best. That's just as simple as it is. Appreciate you, fellas. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.